Kubor ka Batisi TV. Lawan Rashapi da ka Frank Motors. I am Tata Punch. Price starting at 5.80 lakhs. Ringkat bat ka net foodish. Ordar mapi nginwan ra amangi hakir dobyeng jongpi.
Ka All Meghalaya Upper Primary and Secondary Deficit Pattern School Teachers Association haka sengi balang ka nyautrek unai luar arajar arfuar kalapha ka dorkhas syaka Sorkar jela lingbau Additional Chief Secretary ke jela bandawai ke Sorkar pakadiman Kyntiew Kyrdan Deficit System ya baru ki School Deficit Pattern kibadan hapok ke jela Meghalaya hak je keren bagi lapatai kubor ki noyalam kaseng kilaya thuk ba kaseng kala pensengau ru syaka Sorkar bahkan siu ya ki wegi jing siu ki bahkan thup ya ka health allowance, medical allowance, house rent, advance increment nak benta ki noi kai ki pendep ya ki jing pulie ki bakham shalor ban pentrikam ya ka national pension scheme bat ka gratuity.
The main purpose of this press conference is to appeal the government regarding our demands. Our demand is very simple. We have given a memorandum to the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, Education Minister, as well as the Director of the Education Department. Now, our demand is very simple, as I have said. This is just, we are from the deficit pattern category, as you can see. We just demand from the government, the department concerned, that this deficit pattern be converted into fully deficit system.
At the outset, I take this privilege to come along with facts and figure of deficit pattern system of schools of both upper primary and then secondary schools as well. As you are aware, in Meghalaya we have a number of different categories of schools. Deficit pattern school is also one of them. Now let me tell you very plainly and categorically. Deficit pattern school in Meghalaya, we have only 13 schools, including secondary and then upper primary. Secondary we have 9 only, and upper primary only 4. Altogether 9 plus 4 is 13. Now, these 9 schools, deficit pattern secondary schools are. Let me name them one by one so that everybody would able to understand. Number 1 is Bavelafara Deficit Pattern School, that is in Southwest Garo Hills. And then we have got United Baksalfara Deficit Pattern School. It is in North Garo Hills district. And we have a Zengzal. It is in West Garo Hills. Now let's come to this side because it's reason. Deficit secondary schools are number 1, the Kia Presbyterian Deficit Pattern School. It is in East Kyntiew Hills. And we have Paryong Presbytery Deficit Pattern School. It is located in Eastern West Khasi Hills. And we have Malki Presbyterian Deficit Pattern School. It is in East Khasi Hills. And here in the midst of city we have Garo Union Deficit Pattern School. It is in East Khasi Hills. Singridge Deficit Pattern School. It is in West Kyntiew Hills. And lastly we have Maukley Higher Secondary School located in West Khasi Hills. Now let's come to the upper primary. We have 3 upper primary schools in the region of Garo Hills are Govinath Khela Deficit Pattern Upper Primary School. It is in Southwest Garo Hills. We have Brongmal Deficit Pattern Upper Primary School in East Garo Hills, and Darugiri. It is in East Garo Hills, and we have only one. This is for your concern. We have only one Kasipna Deficit Pattern School, UP School. It is in Kyntiew Hills district. Now, teaching and non-teaching staff. When we talk about teaching and non-teaching staff, let me tell you first, teaching staff in secondary section, we have 85 numbers, 85, very small in number. Non-teaching staff, we have 17. Upper primary teaching staff, we have 21. And non-teaching staff in upper primary deficit pattern, we have only 4. Altogether, teaching staff in secondary and upper primary section 106, and non-teaching staff both upper primary and secondary, we have only 21. Altogether, when we add all together, it comes only 127 in numbers, which is very, very, very small in number. This is very, how to say, unfortunate for all of us. Still we are, in the same position. Now let me tell you, these 13 schools which I have mentioned serially had been left out in the year of 1989 for upgradation into our full-fledged deficit system, though these schools were eligible at that point of time. The reason why this school had been left out, the best reason is known by the government of that point of time. However, these 13 schools had started getting grant in aid sanction for deficit pattern right from 1993 onwards. Though we were left out, but we start getting grant in aid sanction for those 13 schools right from 1993 onwards. Now, these schools, that means schools which had been upgraded into full-fledged deficit system on or before 1989, they are getting better facilities, so to say. They are getting other allowances, including retirement facility, so to call gratuity. Now, the 13 deficit pattern schools, we only get basic scale and DA. No other allowances are given to us since 1993. It's been near about 30 years, very long period of time, and we have been suffering a lot till today, as we do not get hill allowance, house rent, medical allowances, and advanced increment for higher educational qualification, CPF, and the main important thing is gratuity that used to get after retirement. These facilities are obtained by deficit teachers. Now, it's been really 30 years, as I have said. Now, to be very honest, why we are not given their other allowances? We don't have answer. But we have a question to ask the government of Meghalaya today. Why we are not given equal opportunity like deficit school? We also do the same work like them. We also perform the other official works like them. Why we haven't ignored for a long time? That is our big questions. And today we want the government should hear the voice of 127 employees of all deficit pattern teachers or employees who are working under one umbrella of Pattern family. Schools established in the year of 1960 and somewhere in 1970 in and around. School is very old. When you calculate the age of school, it's now 50 plus. Some schools 54, 52, 53, something like that. These old schools should have been given an opportunity. But these schools, it's been put under dormant state for long years. That is why we have come here to demand and to put forward our issues to the government of Meghalaya. Actually, So these 13 schools should have been facilitated with other allowances by now without any problem by the government of Meghalaya, because we have only 127 numbers, very few numbers, but it is yet to be done, or it is yet to be materialized. Now let me tell you in this regard what are the steps that we have taken before. Let me tell you very clearly. In 2010, we submitted the memorandum regarding this issue. And to follow up the same issue, we had recently met the Honorable Chief Minister Sri Conrad Sangma at his residence Tura and submitted memorandum, and categorically we had a talk with him for a few moments. And in the month of July, 25th of July 2022, we came over here, we came to Shillong, and we serially met the concerned education minister, submitted memorandum to him, and thereby we met Deputy CM, Sir Preston Tinson, and submitted our memorandum and discussed about these issues, that these are the issues we want these kind of facilities from your side. We submitted, but they had not given a kind of assurance where we see our bright future. They had said only that we will look into the matter, but when they would look into the matter, time is running away. Time and tides waits for none. I don't know when we'll able to see Palmy days. We also need to live a better life. We also need to give a kind of care to our family members. But these things are not happening till today. We are not against the government, but we are so sorry. We are very upset.
Say that to bring about human resource development, I find that education is one of the very important factors. So in that case, we can say that education is fundamental in achieving full potential or full human potential, and also to be able to develop an equitable and just society. Then only we can bring about a national development. Truly speaking, teachers are the ones who shape the future of our children, therefore the future of our nation. They pass on their knowledge, their skill, their ethics optimally to the student. We know that teachers are not born, but frankly speaking, I would say that teachers are made with a continuous and an effective process of learning. That's why it is said that education is a noble profession. It is true that teachers' influence on students' life is undeniable. Why is it so? It is because our duties as teacher isn't restricted to only, let's say, attending to lectures or sending notes to our students. But as builder of a better tomorrow, we are also, we can say, a dedicated learners who not only teach, but also we are a good listeners to every problems of our students. So like every teacher who belongs to the deficit school or the government school, we from the part-time deficit too, we are shouldering same burden, same responsibility, and also we are performing all the government duties and assignment co-equal as our counterpart. We are never relieved during election duties. Besides that, we are entrusted with several official rank during election. And within the department also, we are performing our duties, our responsibilities, same like what the other teachers in the government school or in the deficit school are doing. So I find that if we are considered all this matter, we know that teachers' influence on students' life is to a great extent. It is the teacher who influenced and inspired the student to be a better versions of themselves and to achieve something significant in their life. But it is regretted to say that, in spite of shouldering all the responsibilities, the burdens, like our counterparts, like the other teachers belonging to the other categories, let's say the deficit school, the deficit teacher, or the government teacher. Why should we, the deficit pattern, be neglected?
In case government tends to fail our demands, what we are demanding, we'll see in future what course of action can be done, but will not leave no stone unturned unless and until we fulfill our demand. We shall work dedicatedly and will continue with our demand till we get our demand. And that will be decided as and when time comes. There is no criteria. In fact, there might be. As I have mentioned in my speech, these 13 schools had been left in the year of 1980-90. The best reason is known by the government. That at that point of time, these schools were about to upgrade it into full-fledged deficit system, but it was not done. Now you see criteria, when you talk about criteria, all these 13 schools are having highly qualified teachers. They have a BA, BEd, even MA, MEd. Education in education system, no one is at present, no one is allowed to get appointment without any fulfilling of criteria. Therefore, as I have said, we should also get the same share. To get the justice from the court, yes, we could haven't approached or we could haven't seek a kind of justice from the court. But it was not done from our side. But to be very honest, we have a kind of organization right now, and the organization or the association will move forward to see to the matter in future.
Regularized non-government school teachers, and also they have raised the salary, enhanced the salary of the ad hoc teachers. So if they can raise for all these categories, then why not to us? If they have the willing, then they can do it.
Since 2014, our country has been plagued by divisive forces. TMC is in Meghalaya with the mission to empower the people, uphold the ethnic cultures and traditions, celebrate the sacred land. To oust the proxy BJP government from Meghalaya, be the change, support TMC by calling on 96877 96877.